30 countries you shouldn't go to when you hate these things. This video is for education purpose only and not to create hate for anyone. Australia, if you hate spiders, this is not the country for you. Australia is home to a variety of spiders and have the most venomous spiders in the world. Iceland, this country is known for its beautiful glacier and volcanoes, but it is also a very cold place. If you hate the cold, you might want to avoid Iceland. India is a beautiful and vibrant country, but it is also a very crowded and noisy place. If you hate crowds and noise, you might want to avoid India. Japan is a fascinating country with a rich culture, but it is also a very expensive place to visit. If you are on a budget, you might want to avoid Japan. Mexico is a popular tourist destination, but it is also a country with a high crime rate. If you are concerned about safety, you might want to avoid Mexico. Singapore is a clean and efficient city, but it is also a very strict place. If you don't like rules and regulations, you might want to avoid Singapore. Thailand is a beautiful country with stunning beaches, but it is also a place where haggling is expected. If you don't like to haggle, you might want to avoid Thailand. United Arab Emirates, UAE. The UAE is a wealthy country with a modern infrastructure, but it is also a very hot place. If you hate the heat, you might want to avoid the UAE. United Kingdom, UK. The UK is a popular tourist destination, but it is also a country with a lot of rain. If you hate rain, you might want to avoid the UK. United States, US. The US is a large and diverse country, but it is also a very expensive place to visit. If you are on a budget, you might want to avoid the US. Argentina, if you hate crowds, avoid Argentina during peak tourist season. China, be prepared for large crowds and long lines in China, especially at popular tourist destinations like the Great Wall. Costa Rica, if you dislike bugs and insects, Costa Rica might not be the best destination. Egypt, be aware of the hot desert climate in Egypt, especially if you are traveling during the summer months. France, if you are a picky eater or have dietary restrictions, you might find it challenging to find suitable food options in France. Greece, during the summer, wildfires can be a concern in Greece, especially in forested areas. Italy, if you are easily offended, be aware that Italians can be quite expressive and direct in their communication. Morocco, be prepared for haggling in Morocco, as it is a common practice in many markets and shops. New Zealand, if you dislike long flights, New Zealand is a remote country and getting there can involve lengthy travel times. Peru, be prepared for high-altitude sickness in Peru, especially if you are planning on visiting Machu Picchu or other locations in the Andes Mountains. Brazil, if you dislike loud noises and vibrant celebrations, Carnival in Rio de Janeiro might not be your cup of tea. Chile, be aware of potential earthquakes in Chile, as it is located in a seismically active zone. Colombia, be prepared for potential language barriers in Colombia, especially outside of major tourist destinations. Finland, if you dislike cold weather and long periods of darkness, Finland might not be the best choice in winter. Germany, public nudity in saunas is common in Germany, which can be surprising or uncomfortable for some visitors. Sweden, if you dislike long periods of darkness, the winter months in Sweden can be challenging. Vietnam, traffic, particularly in major cities like Ho Chi Minh City, can be chaotic and overwhelming for some visitors. South Africa, be aware of potential safety concerns in South Africa, particularly in certain areas. Kenya, if you dislike large crowds, avoid popular safari destinations in Kenya during peak season. Bolivia, be prepared for high-altitude sickness in Bolivia, especially if you are planning on visiting La Paz, the world's highest administrative capital. Ghana, if you dislike spicy food, be aware that chilies are a common ingredient in many Ghanaian dishes. Philippines, be aware of the potential for typhoons and other natural disasters in the Philippines.